Hello and welcome to the Energy Connect studio at India Energy Week 2024 in Goa with me, Chiranjib Sengupta. I'm delighted to have in the studio with me today Prabhjit Didyala, Managing Director Strategy, Accenture. Thank you, Prabhjit, for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And to start off, could you tell us that how did Accenture develop the Total Enterprise Reinvention framework?
It all started off with the amount of disruption that we are seeing in the world around us. So, if you look at the past 5-6 years or so and compare it with the 5-6 years before that, the last 5-6 years have 300% the disruption in the environment compared to the 5-6 years before. It's been almost flat for the earlier 5-6 years. Now, this disruption is all over the place, whether it is geopolitical, and you can see that happening around you, whether it is climate change or it is consumer preferences, which have changed. Even without COVID, they had changed quite a bit. Whether you look at the way that technology is disrupting us and so on and so forth. Now, from an energy perspective, of course, there are a lot more disruptions which are there, but I'll stick to the overall point right now. Now, when you look at all of this, we went and spoke to about 1,500 or so companies worldwide. And we asked them, how are they, doing and what are they doing? So we found answers in 3 buckets. So the biggest bucket of people were people who were doing something that we call transformation. So they would pick one area, supply chain, logistics, purchase, HR, something, and they would try and transform it. Almost 80% of the people that we spoke to are doing this. About 10% or so are incrementally tinkering. Let's get 1% more and so on. But there's about 8-9% of people who are performing way better than the others. Way better would mean 20 to 30% better in terms of financial metrics, revenue, EBITDA, profitability measures and so on. But more importantly, also things like getting the value in quicker, getting 360-degree value, not only financial. So focus on ESG, diversity, focus on community and so on and so forth. These people are the set of people that we call reinventors. And the entire study is about what is it that they are doing different. So that's how we focused here.
That's a very interesting point, and specifically just zeroing in on the energy industry as such. How have you seen companies benefit from this framework?
So from a reinventor's perspective, like I said, specifically in energy, we are saying if you look at the 4 or 5 key trends impacting energy, supply diversification, for example, low carbon and the impact on ESG. Again, consumer preferences. Think about how 20 years ago I used to buy fuel and so on and so forth. If you look at the way our energy companies has evolved, they've really traveled a pretty long and pretty, I would say, impactful journey. But are they completely reinventors today? They're probably at the cusp between transformers and reinventors. And I say this because in order to be a reinventor, there are a few things that we have seen. So one of the things is that you need to be digital first. So digital has to be at your core. In Indian firms in energy, we see that since energy is an industry where you have pretty old companies, so they were not digital first to begin with. In fact, I would argue that the entire energy industry can't be digital first to begin with. But if you look at the kind of investments that have gone in, substantial. So we are at that cusp today. A couple of other points are, for example, in reinvention, you would not look at your industry. So, for example, if I were to consciously make reinvention a strategy, then I would look at, let's say, how does Amazon or Flipkart or Netflix delight its customers? How would the delivery or Amazon delivery services or some of these kinds of services delight in terms of delivery of the product? How does the customer connect with some of the premium banks, etc.? How does that happen? I would say as an energy company, not looking only at energy, we would look at other industries. So in these 2-3 areas, we have started work and good work is happening, but we are at the cusp between transformers and becoming reinventors.
That's a fascinating insight, and especially about your point on the cross-sector pollination of how energy industries are inspiring each other. And finally, we are here at India Energy Week in Goa, and full of exhibitors, more than 300 of them, and conferences. So how are you finding the show?
So I think the whole concept of India Energy Week is the testament to it is how seriously the industry takes it. Look around and you will not see one person who is in the C-suite in energy, any energy company, upstream, midstream, downstream, anywhere, who's not here. And look at the middle management people. So I think it's a fantastic effort. The enthusiasm is fantastic. But you know, there's another thing as well. So the way the Prime Minister yesterday spoke about how energy security is central to India becoming, rising in the ranks of developed countries, about how out of total investment, 11 lakh crores or 11 trillion rupees is going to come to energy alone. And this is not at the level of announcements. Last year, the number was 10 lakh crores. And it's happening. And concrete measures like this entire doping, ethanol doping into fuel, we've seen it happen. And by next year, it's going to be 20%. You look at the Pradhan Mantri, the solar, the rooftop solar panel Yojana, I think that's a testament. 10 million is the target. So I think not only is there enthusiasm from the industry and people coming with very interesting insights, but top management, country level, top level signaling in terms of where we are headed, how we will get there, and actually seeing that it has happened. I mean, this is a complete confluence of the polity and the country management, along with the company management, the middle management. I think everyone's here. So it's a fantastic initiative. I only wish that in such areas we would have more opportunities to informally interact and share things that we normally can't share in formal forums. But fantastic initiative.
That's a very good point, Prabhjit, and thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Likewise, and I must call out the excellent work that your organization is doing year on year. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for watching, and we will be back with a lot more interviews from the Energy Connect studio at India Energy Week 2024. Stay tuned.